Broadcasting to you on a suitable delay from the Loading Ready Run underground orbiting moon base, it's the LRRcast.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. The four of us are back again because we had a conversation and decided that we have another conversation, actually. But the reason the four of us have returned is because we want to do another anime cast because it's the end of the winter season and we are beginning the spring season pretty quick. We decided we'd give you a rundown on what we enjoyed from this season and what we're looking forward to from the next season so that we can compare that to what happens at the end of next season so we can see exactly how wrong we were at the beginning of this season. I'm Brendan Beej Deary. It's a pleasure to see everybody. And let's introduce everybody from my right, your left.
Hello. I'm Heather Deary.
I'm Cori Dickinson.
You might remember me from previous LRRcasts. I'm Ian Horner, about anime.
Anime.
So what you're saying, Beej, is that we're getting into a never-ending cycle here of
Pretty much.
Of predictions and reactions.
Yeah, as long as we feel comfortable, like continuing to do this, unless we just decide that.
Unless a season comes up that's so profoundly uncomfortable that we have to skip it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then that's a valuable time to talk about it.
You would think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We'd actually have to watch horrible things, though.
No, we can just react to them.
Yeah, we could watch
All right.
nothing that season and go back and like watch all of Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Speaking of which,
Die.
Do you want to go first?
no.
Oh, excellent.
Sorry, that was a segue, Beej.
Okay. So things that we watched. Okay, stuff that we watched. So we'll do it kind of like the way we did it before. I think where everybody
One at
picks
a time.
a show and just says this is something that I watched from this season, kind of deal. I think that works good rather than just reading off everything we watched.
Sure.
So something that I watched this season that I wasn't entirely sure if it was going to be good or not, and it turned out to be okay, was Binan Koko Chikyu. You want to do that one?
Yes, I do, because I only watched 2 full episodes
Then-
to completion.
Fine. Yeah, because I slept through all the other
two
ones.
things to completion. You
I will
fell
do
asleep
the
during
other
that
one then. Or the other thing that
Odd, weird
yes.
one I don't like.
So there's a show that we tried to watch that I've gotten most of the way through, and Heather doesn't really like. It's called Kofuku Graffiti. It is girls eating food. It is
Erotically.
not really. It's the thing is that when they wrote about it, it does sound erotic, and I guess if you really want to inject it with all that, it looks erotic.
Oh no, it does look erotic.
It's just more about them really, really enjoying the food, which is something that like Japanese people really are good at that on TV, right? That they like to make a lot of food shows and they like to really emphasize how good the food is that they're eating.
Having now not watched it, pitch it to me, because the Japanese food programs I know about, they really concentrate on the close-up of the shiny, glistening food that's slightly shaking in the arthritic chopsticks.
Yep.
And then the, oh my! And then there'll be subtitle here.
Well, other than the fact that they're teenage girls and
They eat it really slowly.
they eat it really slowly.
A lot of saliva, maybe?
They lick their lips a lot, and their lips are very plump and very shiny.
Ah.
And when they eat it and it breaks apart, it kind of like nobody can draw food properly. They got probably as close to drawing food properly in anime than anyone has ever gotten to, and even then, it always looks like you're eating raw meat.
Now, I want to interject, because there's been a lot of blog posts that have happened in the past season about the Ghibli food and how good Ghibli food always looks without looking, I'm going to say, pornographic.
Right.
Except for the meat. Meat's still wrong.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, meat's always one of those things that I think is really hard to animate because you always end up, it always ends up coming out like weird and limp, even when it's like, you know, like a steak, and it's like because whenever you animate like a ham steak or something like that, the guy still picks up the ham steak, and it's not like it sticks straight out. It always like flops over like it hasn't been cooked properly. But anyway, so I liked it. I liked Kofuku Graffiti. I didn't love it, but I did like it, and I'd like to go back and finish the rest of it to see if actually some more comes out of it. But one of the reasons to love that show is the preview, and that's really the best reason and only reason. If you're not interested in the show, just watch the preview because it has the best theme. I'm not going to sing it. You can go find it online. Kofuku Graffiti.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. I talk about, let's see if I can pronounce that. Binan Koko Chikyu Boe Boo Love.
Yes.
Is that good?
Got
Okay. I'm terrible at actually pronouncing the Japanese titles. Is a magical boys series.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So it's not amazing, but it's not intense garbage. So it's okay. But essentially there is a Earth Defense Club and an Earth Conquerors Club. And the groups from those clubs are fighting each other, not knowing that they're the villains and the heroes, respectively.
Because they have that kind of mosaic thing that goes over their
Yeah,
face when they transform.
They have
Oh, wow,
a literal.
okay.
There's technology that literally does a weird mosaic thing to their face, and people can't see it.
Huh.
And it also features a lot of the 5 boys in a bathhouse
Okay.
all the time, being dudes and talking.
So this is for a very specific audience, is what you're saying.
I think anybody who likes a magical girl series would get a lot out of it.
Okay.
Just because
It's very tropey.
It does follow a lot of the tropes, but it's
definitely
with guys.
Is it a satire of the whole magical X thing, or is it kind of does it play it straight?
I would say it's a little bit of satire.
Yeah, it really does try to play it as straight as possible, but the boys themselves are constantly commenting on the fact that this is ridiculous.
They are the what do they call it, the descendants of the throne of love, or,
Yes.
or something like that, and they do this little heart thing at the end.
They're
They
all-
do it. They're like,
They're all very earnest about like when they're transforming and doing attacks and stuff, but they also think it's really weird because it's like, why exactly do it? So there's always like comments going on, why are we doing it this way? Why are we doing
Yeah,
it that
they do-
way?
they do
Oh well, let's just
question-
keep doing it that way.
they
how
also
it
question
happens.
why do we bother doing this at all? Let's just not. Let somebody else figure it out, because this is stupid.
And one of the
What
hallmarks
we're
of
doing is dumb.
one of the hallmarks of every episode is that they always end up just sitting around, like literally sitting around talking about stuff. And then it's like, oh, then Monster of the Week shows up and they do something. It's never like we're out doing a thing, we're out having an activity. It's like, let's sit around the club room and just kind of randomly jaw about something stupid,
No,
like boys do.
It's very formula. I don't know if those conversations are really what I would call boy type conversations generally, but I'm not a boy, so what do I know? It's very formula. It's the scene starts. There's a couple guys talking. They'll be talking about something dumb like, oh, what's this weird food about? Yeah, who eats that kind of food? Blah 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 blah. And then something will happen. Monster of the day will be based on that kind of food. They'll fight it.
So very much in the old style of the
Like
superhero
old
magical.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, but actual plot happens faster because it's only like 12 episodes.
So it's got to wrap up by the end.
Yeah, and the ending, personally, I felt like, I'm not going to tell you what the ending is, obviously, but I felt like by, I think episode 9 was fairly obvious, and it does have like a twist ending, but I didn't think it was that great of an ending. Like, they could have done more with it. I'm done now.
Okay. Then in that case, I will take JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Egyptian Gods Arc,
Ooh, strong choice.
which we're not finished because we went back to watch Battle Tendency, which we did finish.
I actually really, if for anyone who hasn't watched the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure arcs, I kind of recommend a weird machete order viewing of them.
Just start with Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, start with Stardust Crusaders. Then once you're done the first season of Stardust Crusaders, jump back and do Phantom Blood, starting with the original JoJo. Then interspace Egypt Hand with Battle Tendency, and it's a.
That seems like
it's
it
a
would be
wild ride.
confusing, but all right.
It's also really fun because for the opening theme song, they had the 3 guys that did the opening themes for the previous 3 seasons come together and make a song together, and it's a really weird and awful song that Ian likes. But
Because it's so ridiculous, because it's just about these 3 guys wanting to know how the story ends, and who's gonna type the period on the last page? It's Star Platinum.
It's very self-aware.
The end of the song just ends with ora 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 ora.
Awesome.
yeah,
It's.
I will.
You say it's. You'd think it would be confusing, but I think
Right.
one of the strengths of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series is the strength of character. Like all the characters are very distinct.
Oh
and
yeah,
have
no,
their
that
own-
that series definitely seems character driven. It does
Yes.
not seem plot driven at all.
well, what they do in a lot of the episodes is it'll be like a single character will get singled out to face like a specific enemy that's
Okay.
geared towards them, or they might end up teaming up. Like we just watched the first Bastet thing, wherein Joseph Joestar becomes magnetized, and then Avdol comes up and is like, "I will help you," but then, oh no, I was also magnetized off screen. And now we are both magnetized to each other.
Magnetized buddies.
Yeah, and it's a two-parter.
Sweet.
I think my other favorite thing about that series right now is watching the subtitlers try their hardest to actually work around the actual names of the characters, because I guess they think that there's going to be some sort of copyright issue. For those that are not aware, a lot of the villains and main characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are named after bands. So you've got Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Yeah.
You got Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, the Oingo Boingo Brothers. What's most Cars and so when you get to the next character, Wham
Yeah.
is the name of one of the villains of the second series. They keep trying to write it out as Whamu, W-A-M-U.
How
It's how it's said, but
Yeah.
but that's only because of the transliteration of Wham. They're saying Wham
Yeah.
in Japanese,
Yeah.
and yet they translate it as Whamu or Karzu.
or they spell AC/DC out as a word with S's, isn't it?
Shi.
It's like ASIDISI.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just the gymnastics that the subtitlers go through to avoid the actual names of these characters.
That seems ridiculous. Why not just do it?
Yeah.
Except for Santana. They just ran out with Santana.
Well, because that can be somebody's real name, because it is the guy's real name. So I guess that's why they figured they can get, like Dio, right?
I could name my child Cars in the future.
You should totally do name your child
I should-
Cars.
I
Yeah,
do
you
that.
name
Yeah.
your future child Cars.
But great fun series. It's heading towards a good end, and I hope it continues.
So, back to me?
Nope,
No,
I haven't done
you-
mine yet.
That's
Right,
to go.
right, that's
And-
right.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys spend so much time talking about JoJo's, right?
And I'm glad to have the hook here, because I think we really need to talk about Love Bullet Yurikuma Arashi. The best series of this season.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed, completely.
So what did you? So we haven't finished the last episode yet
Oh.
because we don't have internet because we're sad.
Yes.
No, we're sad because we don't have internet.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
So you
Oh,
see
the
that?
ending
we-
is
we have
ending is
finished
so
it.
good.
Because we
It's
are
really great.
right
Yeah.
on the cusp, and it is this
That
series.
was heartbreaking. That last episode, that like 11 was just heartbreaking, and 12 is amazing.
And I'm kind of sad to know that it does end in 12 episodes, because one of God, now I can't remember his name.
Ikuhara.
One of Ikuhara's issues is that he can't seem to wrap up a 13 episode series in 13 episodes.
But now he's done it in 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think and I wonder if there was. I wonder if that's.
Budgetary?
I'm trying to remember her name, the mangaka that he's
Because
working with.
he didn't
Amano
write this
Shininta,
one.
I think, is who he's working with.
Okay.
I think I might be wrong about that. But anyway, the mangaka that he's working with on this too, that might have been an influence for him, where it was like, maybe I need to not make this as long running a story.
He also has a very hard time playing nice with mangakas.
Right, and I mean, part of what I thought makes Yurikuma really good, other than the fact that it sews up, is that it is a story that Ikuhara is really prone to repetition to make his point. And if you watch Utena, that's obvious, because we have 3 distinct arcs where the same thing happens. It's Monster of the Week, because it's constant duels,
Yep.
and it's the same progress. It's like set up, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna have a fight, and then they'll have a fight, and then the same thing will happen to end, like in the Black Rose Saga, the coffin falls out of the whatever.
The
and it's-
repetition goes so far, and you actually have those stock footage sequences.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
precede each fight, and the same thing in Penguin Drum.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say the Penguin Drum kind of evolved that, because Penguin Drum, you have a lot of the slow reveal of different characters.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe some of the same scenes might be interspersed, but you get a lot more introduction throughout the whole series.
Well, it's funny
which is
'cause-
what they've done in Yurikuma.
Yeah, and I found that Penguin Drum was really hard to follow for as long as because ultimately I finished that series and ended up not understanding what actually happened.
Yeah, I had that problem too. I actually thought it was really easy to follow at the beginning, though. Like, I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
understood what was going on. Whereas Yurikuma, I felt like I didn't really get what was going on in the beginning, but near the end, everything really starts to
Everything
make a lot
is
more sense.
really
Yeah.
really clicks, and he really goes through.
It's all about apples.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Penguin Drum to see if I
He
can
does a
pick
lot of work
more.
to make it really clear what the actual story is.
Yeah.
So, what did you think and this is again talking to someone who's seen the ending? What did you think the overall theme was?
In Yurikuma or
Yeah,
Penguin Drum?
in Yurikuma.
What's funny about that is that what I thought was the theme earlier, I was completely wrong about in the last episode. Because I hope I'm not giving anything away by putting it this way. The Invisible Storm, I thought was something that the Invisible Storm shows up in the series as a metaphor for excluding people. That it's like, the Invisible Storm, and this is like
It's also really heavily social media.
yeah, exactly. And what I thought it meant was that the Invisible Storm is the thing that happens to exclude you from everybody else. That's not what the Invisible Storm meant.
Yeah, they're much more clear on that in the last episode.
Okay.
Yeah, they're much more clear about what it meant by the last episode. It's not like it's a grand revelation. It just means that the way I was approaching it was
Okay.
different, and I can't give it away because you guys haven't seen it yet,
that's
and I don't know what your take on it is. So if you want to tell me what your take on it,
My take is that the Invisible Storm and the whole theme of Yurikuma is actually about teenage sexuality and the reaction to it by society in general. And so the Invisible Storm is just a manifestation of the institutionalized of the patriarchy in a sense.
Kind of. I feel like it's more a story about how it's normal to be gay, but everyone will tell you that you're not, and you need to be invisible to
Yeah,
be
that-
normal.
Right. Yeah. Like
That's
I don't think it's necessarily patriarchy.
Yeah, a lot of Ikuhara's stuff is just like, here's a person as they are expected to be, and then this is them kind of breaking away from that and rebelling
yeah, yeah.
in spite of the consequences.
True. It's I can't comment on.
Okay,
what-
does
what-
it explain the court bears?
Yeah, kind of.
It explains the court, what has been happening in the court all the time, which is really like that's the great thing about 12 is the last episode is that it actually because it sums up all the things that have gone in the series. You realize like, oh shit, that's what's been going on.
There's
This
some
stuff has
flashback
been
stuff.
happening. We didn't realize why this was happening. And that's the one fault that I'll give to Yurikuma is that
It surprises you at the end.
yeah, it waits till the end to give away a lot of that stuff, and that's something you can do in TV, and I guess because it's like we've been building to a thing to kind of do a big giveaway as to what's going on, but because all those little dangling threads were all kind of sewn up in the end, it feels like why the hell wasn't I told this? Like I would have loved to have known this 5 episodes ago and seen you develop the story as opposed to keep repeating the same shit over and over
Is it a case
and
of-
then sew it up.
Is it a case of you're not getting any denouement, or is it that you're just you just want
I-
more story?
I think what it was is that it's like it's that it took so long to get there that I was like the giveaway is really interesting, that's great, but do I feel like it was worth those 11 episodes to get to the 12th?
Beej, I disagree that they actually they do sew everything up, but they do give you much more information. You fell asleep during a lot of certain parts
Yeah.
that were very crucial
Which is why I need to go back and watch
to
the series
the
again.
plot. So I don't agree. They do sew it up at the end, but just the fact that they gave you that fairy tale, and then when they give you the metaphors of that at the very end, that actually shows you what really happened. It makes a lot more sense
Okay.
as to what's going on, and also really like the fairy tale aspects of the whole thing.
Kumalia.
Yeah.
Oh, Kamalia.
So Yurikuma Adachi is definitely
Yeah.
that was a must watch for this season.
This is the best one.
Cool.
Yeah. Of the things I've watched, definitely the thing to watch.
The standout.
So, do we have anything else from this last season that's
I do.
great?
Ansatsu Kyoshitsu, or as everyone will probably know it, is
Assassination
Classroom.
Wait, that was this season?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, really good adaptation of the manga. If you're not reading the manga, it's over 100 chapters by now, so
You don't need to
Good
read
time
the
to
manga.
start.
good time to start. So it goes on for a while. The manga, the anime, I think, did a really good job presenting what goes on in that series in like this. So I would say watch it, and then you can probably jump in about like chapter 20 or so to kind of, you could watch the series and be like,
Yeah.
if that grabs you, then it's like, okay, jump into
Because
chapter
it
20
is
of the
really
manga.
direct with
Yeah.
the manga.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in the anime that are like the foreshadowing in the anime of like things
About what everything is about.
Yeah, which I was a little surprised at, that I was like, that didn't show up in the manga, but I was like, probably that's because they felt like we need a little bit more of a hook to kind of grab people. And I don't know how they're going to, I don't think they have actually ended Assassination Classroom yet. I think like the anime is still running. I think it's getting another cour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so yeah, jump in and watch it now. Like go get it and watch it now. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the it's a really great comedy. It's got some drama to it when it needs to, but it's mostly just like a really nice really fun comedy. After you.
Okay, well, the only other thing I watched from the season that I'm aware of actually came from the season, because now I'm starting to doubt that I went to the wrong list, is one episode, and one episode only, of Kantai Collection.
Oh, good.
Oh Jesus.
God.
That show is terrible, and not for the reasons you'd think. Okay, I'm sure there's like later on it's for the reasons you think, but I was so bored watching it. I was in the middle when there was a fight going on. I was like, because so Kantai Collection is the Boat Wives anime.
One of the Boat Wives animes,
One
let's
of
be
the
clear.
Boat Wives anime from like that weird game where you have people who are boats and you fight and then you make a waifu or some.
They're your daughters and then you marry them.
Yeah, that kind of weirdness. So like clearly this is going to be a bad show for very specific fan servicey reasons, right?
Yeah.
In the middle when they were fighting, I was like, I don't really understand why people would want to watch this anime. And then I started to kind of see like how the one girl had parts of like her sleeve starting to go away. I was like, oh, it's one of those things. It's fan servicey. They never went beyond some sleeve going away at all. And I'm like, okay, I'm really bored. At least show me the boobs. You're not showing me any of that. This is really boring.
You know,
this is extremely boring.
Isn't that the thing now? That fan service has now become very tame. It's all we're almost getting back to the levels
there
of
weren't even panty shots.
yeah.
I think
We
it's
don't watch any of the things that are directly fan service.
No,
Yeah.
but
Generally.
I do keep an eye on this sort of thing, like where
It's-
and fan service seems to be going in the direction of the slight glances, and if you take the idea of what the otaku idea of ideal is, it's the purity
yeah.
aspect.
So you
And
can't give too much away or else they'll turn their backs.
Well, no, because then you've ruined them. If
Yeah.
you show them all, well, then it's not pure. I can't have that. It's like the idea of what they're doing to the idols. I mean, an idol gets a girlfriend. Well, they're not pure. We can't.
Idols get a girlfriend?
Yeah, actually that has
Yeah.
happened. I mean,
Nice.
I think in AKB48 there's two girls who are spending an awful lot of time with each other.
So it's going to be AKB46 soon, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they've got extras in the
Oh,
chamber.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know they've got extras waiting around.
In the room of Golf.
In
But
the
yeah,
production room.
Kantai Collection, the anime. I mean, we only watched the first episode, and I was like, we have to watch this because oh god, it's gonna be god awful.
Well, yeah, like that's the point. You kind of want to
But
see
you
what
want
that turns
spectacle
into,
Yeah,
in your awfulness.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was just boring.
right? Yeah, like I could have fallen asleep during that series.
There was no information given really as to who all these characters were. It's just we're going to dump all these characters, and you'll be fine with it because if you're watching the show, you're playing the game.
You already know who these people are.
Yeah, so we can dump all that there. You can be really happy about seeing them all walking around and crap. All the animated parts of the girls getting ready to go out. That was the most interesting part of because they have to they're all just normal girls, and then they get shot through like this weird slingshot thing. And because they have to step in
they
like
kinda
these
get
floating
Iron
ship
Manned.
things.
Oh, yeah.
And they get Iron Manned up with all their stuff as they go flying out of the
Slingshot Iron
underground
Manned.
whatever. That was the coolest part of the whole show, as far as I was concerned. I'm like, I wanted you to sell me on why this is going to be a ridiculous thing,
Oh, yeah,
and they
it's-
didn't
It's
sell
not
me.
ridiculous.
No.
It's
It wasn't that
dead
cool.
serious.
Dead serious.
That part, like the most interesting part, was not that interesting either.
Anyway, yeah.
But we did watch a good series that this past season that we'll maybe get to here.
Because I was going to bring up Gundam The Origin, which on the charts starts fall, but there was one of the OVAs released during the last season. Mm-hmm. And it's gorgeous and fun and interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the origin stories for characters from original Gundam. So,
Oh, really?
The
Okay.
origin of
Oh.
Char.
Yeah. So
This is his backstory.
the first one. It's his backstory from when he was like
10.
10 years old.
Holy crap.
And when his father is assassinated. Like, this is not spoilers. If you know anything about Gundam, you know that Char is actually, oh god, now I can't remember his name.
Cavill. No.
Casval.
Casval.
Yeah. Casval von Zion.
Oh, Okay.
His father was the guy who created the whole idea of the Duchy of
Space
Zeon.
noids.
Yeah, space noids and whatnot.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm getting all of this so wrong. But,
Yeah.
but okay, so you get his story, but you also then get the origin story of Ramba Ral, who was an antagonist for Amuro for about a 4 or 5 episode arc of the original Gundam as well.
Right.
Because he's stationed on Earth, and we get to find out what his involvement was with the whole assassination, and he was the one who spirited Char and Artesia back to Earth at that time.
Okay.
And so the next one, it's going to be an OAV series. The next one is going to be about
Artesia.
Artesia's
Yeah.
slightly growing up, and then
Neat.
eventually we're going to get one about Amuro's youth before
Okay.
before the White Base and his
Which
interactions
I'm
with
less
his father.
interested in.
Because he's
little bit
just
less
kind of the
interested.
hero, so it's like it's probably
yeah.
going to be pretty.
I think what's going to be interesting about that is more information about his father and the work on the V project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like in the series they have Amuro's confrontation with his father later. And it's like you've got the first bit where he finds the Gundam and his father's all neglecting him, and then you get the confrontation where his father's going crazy. So it's
But it's the highest quality OAV, and it's extremely expensive. I think it's $100 for a single Blu-ray disc with 1 episode on it. But it's beautiful.
People will pay for that.
Yeah.
People will buy that. It's Gundam.
and it's so good.
It's a good Gundam.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we watched this season that was good was Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Part 1.
Yes. I'm so glad they're doing part 2.
Yes. And I think that's... Is that a good time then to segue into what we're looking forward to in the next season, or have you got more?
Well,
Do you have more?
I have a couple things.
Okay.
So other things that played this season that I can't talk about. Well, I can't talk about Do-Da-Da-Da season 2.
No, we didn't watch that at
Yeah.
all.
And we
Because-
can't talk about Alt No Zero season 2.
Yeah, and
But we
that's-
know they're good.
Yeah, we know they're good because Do-Da-Da-Da was really good, and we had just watched it, and then Do-Da-Da season 2 comes out, but it's a 2-core series, and it's being split into 2, and it's being we're not getting the next one this season, we're getting the next one next season. So Heather and I we were waiting for all of Do-Da-Da-Da season 2 part 1 to be finished, so we can either watch it or we can decide to wait until season 2 comes out and then watch it.
Because
But-
we want to binge watch that one.
Yeah, because Do-Da-Da is really good when you binge watch it, because you can be like,
Yeah.
oh, I can
Momentum.
I can keep
Yeah.
the track.
Well,
It's
there's-
such a good series.
There's
Oh.
that, and you kind of feel like I want to know more at the end of the episode, and you don't really want to be like, oh, I guess I'll wait till next
Yeah,
week.
exactly.
Which is actually my understanding of how you should be watching Gundam Reconquista in G.
Oh, okay.
Watching that week to week makes very little sense.
Maybe I should do that then, because I was thinking that I should.
It
maybe
will
pick that
never
up.
make sense.
Oh,
no matter
well,
what
all
you
right.
do, the series will never make sense. Character motivations will never make sense.
So-
characters recovering from deaths immediately will never make sense. But it's really fun and
right.
really well made.
Can we go back to talking about Fate Stay Night?
Yes, you can talk about Fate Stay Night. Unless
so
Beej wants
good.
to. Like,
I have two more.
Let's
What?
Beej
tell
finish the old
tell us
stuff.
their titles.
Shigatsu no Kimi no Uso was continued from last season and finished up this season, and that is Your Lie in April. They finally, by the end, you figure out what Your Lie in April actually is referring to.
A lie.
And it was good. It did not go the way that I wanted it to, probably the way most people wanted it to. And by the end, I was just kind of like, I know how this is going to end, and this isn't really what I wanted out of the series. But
Not everything can be Nodama Cantabile.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Nodame Cantabile was really good at let's mix the drama and the music and the comedy together. This did not really do it. This was
Well, that one, I mean, the problems I had with that one is by the end of the first core, you could tell
what was happening.
what the ending for the one character specifically was going to be, and that it was going to be sad. And they also do that thing where every single person in the audience is mysteriously a person who understands everything about music and understands every single emotion that character is pumping out right this second.
Yeah, that's how amazing they are. Anyway, but the thing that we did watch, which is, it is not the #1 anime in Japan, but it is damn near close, and it's Shirobako. And that's for a good reason, because Shirobako, which translates as white box, it's by an anime company. It's by the company that did Hanasaku Iroha. So I think that's PA Works. I can't remember. they did a show about people in an anime company making a show. And then they did a second season of it, which just wrapped up, which is about people in an anime company making another show. And it's gripping.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
really
really
funny,
good.
and it's super interesting because you learn a whole bunch of stuff about how making anime works and basically how we're the worst people on earth for not appreciating it.
Did you make it to do any of that?
No,
you haven't watched that yet.
I'm going to
So-
binge that.
Yeah, pick it up.
First season, they're making an original work.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a director who's coming up with the story on the fly. And
A
they have all the
disgraced
problems.
director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disgraced.
That
Because
they have to lock in a box until he finishes writing stuff. Yeah.
because he's super good at running away and not finishing. Then second season, after they make it through that,
Guessing is an adapted work.
it's an adapted work that has not been out very long, that has a mangaka that they keep trying to get in touch with, but the editor
Don't
or
give
the
away too
manager
much. Don't give away too much.
does not, like, just kind of doesn't seem to be.
He keeps
letting
saying,
him
no, it's
talk
fine,
to
it's
him.
fine, it's fine.
And the more you see that, the more you see the guy go, no, don't worry about it. Whatever you do is fine. You're just like, this is going to end so badly.
Yeah,
But it's really good.
it's super good. Anything left on your guys' list? Or
no.
on your list?
no.
No.
I was just going to, like, did you mention the fact that a lot of these characters are based on real people?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Is that in
Yes.
Shidobako, a lot of them are actually based on real life seiyuu and real life directors, and like Anno shows up.
Yeah, and apparently you can actually tell based on what they look like.
Yeah,
who
which
these
is
people are.
really creepy.
Does
'cause-
Rompers show up?
No, she doesn't. Anno's got a cool house though, which is way nicer than the one that they show in Kotoku, Fuyuki Todoroki, whatever that one is. Way nicer than that house. But anyway, yeah. So let's get into stuff that we're hoping for next season.
Yes.
I'll go first.
I was.
Any of us
no.
can go first.
No. Ian goes first.
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Because Heather and I want to talk about Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works
Yeah.
Part 2.
Okay.
Oh, this has been quite the ride, actually. Like going into Fate Stay Night, I jumped in on the Fate Zero train and watched through the first part of that and got so in love with the characters, so in love with the world that I decided to go watch the original Fate Stay Night.
Oh, no.
And that
Oh,
was
no.
so bad,
I feel
but
bad for
it
you.
felt good to know where things were coming from. And then I watched the second half of Fate Zero, and it was great, and a great ending. Like, oh, I guess that's the end. Well, I'll have to accept what Fate Stay Night was.
But not true, Ian.
Yes.
Unlimited Blade Works came out.
And it's
And it's Fate Stay Night. But it's different.
It's so good. The animation is incredible. The fight scenes are the best I've seen outside of Gundam, let's be honest. And it's and it's surprising because they're taking a different track to the story. They're taking the Unlimited Blade Works story, but my understanding is, because I think you know this a little bit better than I do, Heather, that they're still making changes from that as well.
Yeah, it looks like it. Like I started with Fate Stay Night because we showed that off in an anime club, and it starts good, and then at the end you're just like, I don't know why I watched that. I really wish I'd had Fate Zero first. I would say I wouldn't even start with Unlimited Blade Works if you're not familiar with the series. I would start with Fate Zero because of is it Rider?
Reasons.
Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Unlimited Blade Works makes a lot of assumptions that you know who some of these characters are.
When it does the big introduction and reveal.
yeah, I think you could watch it, especially if you watch episode 0, which does a huge info dump. But you definitely get a lot more out of it if you watch Fate Zero first.
I slept through it.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, you did. So Heather and I have been watching that in between our streams on Tuesdays.
Yes. Anime day for you.
So good that it's coming.
to
So
us.
yeah, it's coming back for another season, and it's definitely going to wrap up because that seems to be the way that these UFO table things work. But wow, I will follow UFO table.
I do hope they will make some incredible changes that will show off, that will actually confirm things instead of just letting you suspect them.
And we're hedging a lot of what we're saying right now because everything's a spoiler, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Fate series is based on a game, an old dating sim called Fate Stay Night. One of the first, actually, or at least one of the ones that
It's early.
it popularized the genre. And so the original Fate Stay Night anime followed the main track of the game, and now this Unlimited Blade Works is following a different track in the game.
Yeah. So plot-wise, though, you magicians
Yep.
summon heroes from distant times.
Yes.
Fights.
Yep.
You going to win a chalice, and something awesome
You get
will
a
happen.
wish.
Yep.
The end.
But things don't turn out how they seem.
Well, that's every anime.
Yes. So yeah, we're excited for that. Who's
Okay.
next?
Okay,
Cori.
we're done.
Okay.
Are we going this way now?
No, fine. Digimon.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Digimon.
Adventure Try.
Yes. It looks really well done.
That was not our generation, Ian.
No, it's not, but I'm kind of excited for it.
Okay. The first season of Digimon was the best season of Digimon.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
Everything after that was downhill.
I thought season 2 was all right.
Anyway.
Do you know anything about this?
Nope, don't care.
Corey and I are going to be
it's-
watching this anime.
It
Yeah.
should push. Okay, so imagine you had a favorite series where all your favorite characters were kids and they had adventures.
I want to hear them describe it because they're big fans of it.
No, I want to hear what Ian thinks this is, even
Oh.
though he didn't really watch it.
And it's like a return to Oz. It looks like.
Okay.
It's going to be the heroes have grown up a bit, and
So
now
they're older.
Yeah, and get to return back to the world of Digimon with all their friends.
Okay, so Corey.
So it's the first season of Digimon.
No, it's not.
No, no,
That's wrong.
no. But it's the characters that we like, but they like the styling is different, except for the Digimon, which look identical. to
Yeah,
the way
because
they used to.
they get to meet them again, and they're
Yeah.
digital creatures. So
Digital creatures don't age, even though the art style's more updated. Yeah,
so
but yeah, it's an anniversary series.
15th anniversary.
yeah.
It's 6 years in the future from the first
I was gonna
season.
say, even though they don't appear to be
they're-
15 years
they're-
older.
No, they're
No.
17 now. Because it's 6 years after the first season, 3 years after the second.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to meet up with their digital friends again, and then save the digital world again. Because
As
it's the
you do.
same. It's the same plot line always, but like as Corey has said, it has gone downhill. So this is exciting because
Mm-hmm.
we can go back to something that's good and not weird, like humans evolving with their Digimon into a thing.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
In the real world.
yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully it means that because we'll have older characters, maybe we'll have a little bit more of a mature story to deal with.
It'll be more like Shadow Star.
Yeah.
I assume they're going to actually make the
assume.
characters behave a lot like they used to anyways.
I used to know the actual name of what Shadow Star was, and I can't fucking remember it now.
Saber Riders, I don't know.
No.
I'm
It's
just
it was
guessing.
Shadow Star. If I can ever remember the title, the story was about these kids who get these like monster things. And they're like, yeah, all right, except that the monsters kill each other and kill the kids, like IRL kind of. This is not a
that
thing
sounds
like
fun.
Yeah, it's really dark.
mystical and,
It doesn't look like it's dark, but it's really dark. So I'm hoping your
Anyways.
Digimon series is like that.
No.
It looks
No.
great. Yeah, but I guess
want
Heather?
good Digimon.
Heather?
I'm looking forward to Nagato Yuki-chan no Shitsu,
Yep.
which is, if anyone's familiar with Melancholy of Haruhi
yes.
Suzumiya, this is not that. This is the same characters. As far as I'm concerned, based on what they've said with the plot, it's same characters, different universe. Because it's
Nagato.
Yuki.
Yep.
Nagato. Yuki. She's the president of a literature club. There are 3 members, so we all know where this is going. Her club is probably going to die. And but she is shy, and she likes Q.
So the summation. This is weird because
Can I sum it up?
yeah.
It's Kyoto Anime not giving us what we want again.
Well,
do
you're
you mean?
absolutely
In
you're,
the sense
abso-
of-
Not an alien
you're
this
absolutely
time.
right because it's not Kyoto Animation at all. It's Satellite.
Oh, really?
It's a completely different company
Okay.
doing this.
Good. So,
So-
maybe Kyoto Anime can actually get on another season of Full Metal Panic.
So
Oh, dream big, Ian. Dream big.
The second season of Full Metal Panic was not good.
So this spin-off of the Haruhi Suzumiya series takes place in the world of the disappearance arc of the original novels, focusing on the high school life and romance of attentive and bashful Yuki Nagato, quite unlike the one you come to know and love through the usual exploits of the SOS Brigade, but no less charming, is how it was summed up on AniChart.net.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
It's an alternate
Yuki,
universe.
but she's different. It's a different.
She needs
She's the
And-
same character, but she's not
Yeah.
superpowered alien.
and I haven't
She's
seen
not an alien.
I haven't seen the disappearance arc, so I have no idea what that has to do
she
with
needs
anything.
to gain confidence is the thing
Yeah.
I read, and I assume from that because she has a very small club, because those shows always have small clubs. The club is about to do whatever. You need more members. You're a shy president, which means you need to stop being shy so that you can get more members.
And my understanding is the take on Yuki, where she's shy and bashful as opposed to just like no affect, is fiercely popular among the people who really like this. So this is probably going to be a really big
I
deal.
really like Yuki. I cosplayed her once. I'm very much into the show.
Okay, so
I'm done now. You can speak
Okay.
if you want again.
we should really do these quickly. I'm looking forward to Gintama degree sign. It's got a little degree sign next to it, so
gonna
it's
make
another
great.
Gintama, which I'm incredibly surprised they're making another one of, but I'm super happy about it. Ian?
Second season of Knights of Sidonia. Don't need to say anything more about that. But what okay, and I'm going to get mine out of the way here quickly. Super short comics.
On my list. Okay, anyways, continue.
Super short comics,
Okay.
which I know nothing about. It appears to be a 4-panel gag manga, which is drawn really terribly.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
But most importantly, and most trepidatiously, Hibiki Euphonium.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring
Yeah.
that up. That's Kyoto
I
Animation.
know, and I'm so worried because
There might not be giant robots.
I'm not
There
a
will
fan.
definitely not be giant robots.
This is a controversial statement. I'm not a fan of K-On! K-On! Broke promises to me. That was supposed to be about music.
Yep.
It was not about music.
About drinking tea.
It was about friends.
Yeah. Hibiki Euphonium. I played Euphonium back in high school. I love the Euphonium. It's got a big, well-rendered Euphonium on all of the promotional information. It's got brass band. It's about a...
It's got
About
girls
attractive girls.
girls with
Highly
amazing
rendered
legs
euphoniums.
who
Yeah.
stand with their knees pointing together all the goddamn time.
Ian?
yeah, because
Ian?
it's Kyoto Anime.
Yeah.
I feel like you're about to be heartbroken.
I know, because it's about supposedly about a brass band that takes it all the way to brass band Koshien.
I know.
And after being burned by this and Sakamichi no Apollon, which was still a great series but wasn't what I wanted,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with Boys on the Kids on the Slope, is that I felt the same way. I want it to be more about the music, and it wasn't. But
It was a lot about the music, though.
it was a lot
a
about
lot
the music.
more
but-
than K-On!
Knowing Kyoto Animation, it's going to be pretty. They look a little bit less Moe Blobish than the K-On! Characters, which is good, but we'll see.
Also, they refer to the bassoon as the faggot or fagotto, which is going to be a weird thing to hear over and over.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know.
That's going to be... No.
That's the name for it in Italy, I think, is that's what its bassoon's referred to. So it's going to be really weird. But anyway,
okay, that's my entire list.
I was getting a picture super short comics, so you can skip over me.
is it the only thing?
Yeah.
No, you should pick Lupin the Third and really piss Ian off.
Lupin the Third, but in the future?
No.
So
He has a
Lupin the
blue
23rd.
jacket now.
Blue Jacket Lupin.
What if Lupin but Blue Jacket?
Which primary color will he be this
Oh,
time?
there's so much to say about it, Lupin.
Yeah, but you missed your turn.
Yeah.
That's
No.
taking place in Italy and San Marino. Go ahead.
My turn. I'm looking forward to Urawa no Usagi-chan because it is an anime that is meant to advertise Urawa City. And I don't know what that means,
Right.
but I want to find out.
Oh
It means
boy.
it's going to be not good.
Probably.
No, it could be
But
fantastic.
It could be really
is that
good.
the kids series?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let's
That's
remember
all I know about that one.
that one of the best things that's come to Japan in the past few years has also been a city mascot, Funashi.
There's also a Funashi series that you could watch.
There is.
But I'm also
month.
really looking forward to Lupin the Third because there's a blue jacket, and it'll be amazing because I've seen so very little Lupin.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
So I'm looking forward to a manga adaptation by Madhouse called Ore Monogatari, which translates as My Story, but it actually translates as My Love Story is how they're referring to it.
But the big guy?
About the big guy. Takeo Goda is a giant guy with a giant heart. Too bad the girls don't want him because he has a really good-looking best friend. He meets a girl who's really cute. I think he ends up saving her at some point. And the thing is he's like the massive, like, Gori-chan. If you watch Slam Dunk, you know, like, the big gorilla-looking dudes that they always draw. So this guy is not supposed to be the protagonist. He's always supposed to be, like, the best friend, the secondary character in these kind of series. This is a shoujo manga where he is the main character. Not the girl isn't the main character. He's the main character. And it's darling. It's so sweet because he doesn't really have a clue as to how this stuff works, but he's very much the Gori-chan kind of character. And I can't wait to see it because the manga's really good. I think the anime is going to be good too. Should I keep mentioning my other ones, or should we just go around again?
I have another one. Ian went through his whole list. Does
Yep.
Cori have another one?
Well, I have a movie that I was showing Ian earlier that looks interesting called Saru Subari. And it's set in 1814 in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much all I know about it. And it's just like really detailed.
Do we know who's
art.
doing it?
I was pulling it up right now. I have to
Oh, we're doing that.
load page.
Oh,
Load the
no.
page.
Heather?
Okay, well, in the meantime, I was looking forward to Ikoku Ike Nihon o Tabaru,
Yep.
which is based on a book by a British traveler and dining journalist, Michael Booth, with his family on their 100-day trip to Japan. Does not look like anime. It looks like what you would see for more of an American animation style.
It's
So that
yeah.
seem really
So
interesting.
he travels with his wife Lisen and Lisen and his two kids, Ansgar and Emil, who are 6 years old and 4 years old. And Michael Booth was inspired to make this trip by Shizuo Tsuji's book, Japanese Cooking: A Simple Art. So I can only imagine what it'd be like to go on a 100-day trip with the express idea of we're going to eat stuff, we're going to eat all the specialties all around winter. Because we went for 19 days and we didn't get that adventurous in terms of eating food.
Oh, but convenies are just so full of good food anyway.
It's true.
Yeah. Production IG, it looks like. For
Oh, really?
Sasagori.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. They do good work.
Other things I want to mention, Kokaku Kidotai Arise, alternative architecture, which of course we know Kokaku Kidotai as Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
Arise is getting a TV series, not in the way that you'd think. Because what they're doing is they're taking the 4 movies that were made, the OVA movies that were made, they're splitting those into the first 8 episodes, and then the last 4 episodes, or last 2, it looks like the last 2 episodes, are going to be new content.
So sell me on Arise.
It's more Ghost in the Shell if you haven't watched it, and Maya Sakamoto voices Makoto.
So sell me on Arise.
Kusanagi.
So Ghost in the Shell, if you haven't seen Ghost in
I
the
like
Shell?
the thing is
or-
I liked Arise. I've only seen like the first 2 movies of it. I liked it because I was like, it's a similar universe. It's similar things going on.
Okay.
It was Ghost in the Shell has never really been for me about the specific characters.
Mm-hmm.
I want the characters in it. I don't mind if they're drawn differently or if they look differently because it doesn't matter so much. Like obviously Bato's got to look a certain way because then he's Bato, and Adamaki's got to look a certain way because then he's Adamaki, that kind of thing. If Kusanagi looks a little different, it doesn't break my sense of belief in the whole thing. I'm like, if this is going to give me more of like what happened in Standalone Complex, I'm for it. Arise did not make me feel like, oh, this is completely pissing on the grave of what it doesn't. I felt like it's still good. It still has a bit of some interesting things going on in it. But I have to rewatch the first 2 movies so I can watch the next 2 movies.
I watched the first short that was the Windows Surface.
Weird.
Yeah, the Windows Surface, they sponsored them in Japan. for
Oh,
the first
okay.
few months.
Okay.
And so that's why they're always using these Windows tablets.
I see,
And
I
the whole
see.
thing felt just a little bit off to me, and I couldn't really place why.
I
So
think that might be the idea, though, is that it's supposed to feel a little bit off.
Okay.
But that's also...
Maybe I'll have to give it a different...
That's a really... I mean,
it.
it's a really weird thing to take a series that's been around for a while and say, let's make things feel off. So maybe that's not the case.
So I have 2 more.
Good.
Does anyone else have?
Let's hear them.
Well, I can actually tell you a little bit about the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's about a painter and his daughter.
Okay.
So he's a renowned painter, and then it has his daughter assisting him.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
The poster art looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's about their relationship.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where she is doing a lot of the work, but he is getting all of the renown.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I want to watch
So
that
that
too.
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Meiji period.
Anyways,
Tokyo.
yes, you can continue.
So the last 2 I have, one is called Recon, which I expect to be disappointed in. Is listed as on Crunchyroll as a heartwarming horror comedy. It's about the daily life of a girl who can see ghosts and spirits, and therefore is also friends with ghosts and spirits, but friends with people in reality. And I'm hoping for more of a Book of Friends kind of thing, even though I'm probably not going to get that. So it's just why I'm going to be disappointed at that. Book of Friends is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's not going to be Book of Friends.
Nope. But I can hope. And then the last one, which I don't think will get subtitled, is Amakase Mamitasu, which is a kids show.
Oh.
That's a slapstick comedy with 10 cats.
10 cats.
And the,
Cats.
and the Nakagawa family.
Yeah, and the Nekigawa family, and I saw the picture. All the cats are different colors, Ian. They're red and they're pink and they're blue, and some of them are wearing capes. And there's probably superpowers involved somehow. And
10 cats.
I don't know. I think it looks fun. It's also like really short. It's like
they
10-minute episodes
could
or
be.
something.
Shokugeki no Soma is getting an anime adaptation based off the manga. For anyone who is into
Not sure.
the manga or into the live action, I haven't watched it. So,
I've been reading the manga, but
yeah. I know
considering
it's,
what the manga is, I'm not sure if I'd want to watch anything based on it.
I like to think I don't know anything about it, so I like to think that
I know
it'll
less
be like
about
Yakitate Japan kind of deal. Where
Nope.
no, well there we go.
What's it about, Beej?
It's about cooking. It's about fine dining.
It's not a gag series, though.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sick of cooking anime.
yeah. I'm not
Especially
gonna
for the
watch it. I
graffiti
just thought it
one.
was interesting. It's coming out. Hokago no Pleiades, which because we've all seen K-On!, we know that Hokago means after school. Hokago no Pleiades is a new Gainax series, and it's here we go. Subaru is a young girl who discovers that her best friend Aoi is part of a magical group trying to gather engine fragments so that a little being from Pleiades can return to his home. Subaru considers joining them as she was chosen by the Pleiadian president of the after school club.
Oh
Is this
yeah.
Bokurano?
I haven't seen Bokurano, but
It's going to be Bokurano, but happy and also bad.
I like the idea that I was like, it's sci-fi, but it's also like alien sci-fi, after school
it's
sci-fi.
Magical Girl.
And I think this is going to actually, I'm going to watch a couple of
But
episodes.
it's
to see if
Gainax, so
It's-
it might be really sad at the end.
It's true.
It's Magical
Everyone
Girl
might be
sci-fi.
upset.
So it might be good if you like Magical Girl, but I doubt it.
A thing I'm really looking forward to is Yamada-kun to Nanani no Majo. Yamada-kun and the Seven
yes.
Witches.
Okay.
The reason for that is the mangaka who did that also did Yankee-kun and Megane-chan,
Yeah.
which is
But then
amazing.
dropped its ass and started this with the Seven Witches
Yeah.
stuff, which is about kissing.
Yeah, and it's about body swapping and kissing. And apparently,
sorry,
from
what?
from being on something awful,
It's a harem series
and
about
being
kissing.
in ADTRW, Yamada-kun people feel is actually the better series compared
It
to
is.
Yankee-kun. And I haven't read Yamada-kun yet, so I was meaning to. I have it in my list of things to read, and then I saw that they're getting an anime, and I'm like, F it, I'm going to watch the anime and see if I enjoy it.
Let me get this straight. This is one of those anime where girls kiss and then swap bodies.
No, it's where
Well,
the
yeah,
boy
they do,
kisses
actually.
the girl. Oh, the girls kiss too?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's about how some people in the school are witches, which is like an inherited thing by being at the school, and then they have a magic power related to their kiss. So it'll be like, if you kiss, we fall in love,
Ah.
or you fall in love with me, or we swap bodies, and he's got a kissing power, and then a bunch of other girls have a kissing power. And so it's about everyone kissing each other.
Nice.
And oh, boys kissing, and oh, girls kissing.
Looking
I
forward to
see.
this.
I will probably watch the
Hijinks.
first episode.
I like hijinks,
But I really like the style of the mangaka.
and I'm out.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, I love the style of the mangaka, and Yankee-kun and Megane-chan was so good. Didn't end the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, and Yamada is like faster moving.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think is why it's the better series so far.
So did anyone else see the anime that was on the list about the vegetables who go to
Yes.
a bar?
No, I missed that because that sounds amazing.
Sounds hilarious.
There's a bartender, and then there's a bunch of vegetables, like celery
I'm in.
and strawberries.
and strawberries.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
What's it called?
I can't read what I wrote because I accidentally scratched it out.
I can find it.
It's bar something.
Yes, I. Bar something,
Bar,
yes, I.
bar. Of course it would be.
Yeah, because yes, I is
It's-
vegetables.
It's a short. It's like it. I think they're like 4 or 5 minute long episodes.
Which
so
is
they're
a-
not long.
Apparently, also what super short comics is going to be.
Yeah. Also, if for anyone who cares, My Little Husband Can't Be This Unintelligible is getting a second series.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
I
Is
want
that
to
a real
watch the
thing?
first one. I watched the first 2 episodes of it. I actually like it, so we must be over an hour by now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
So let's wrap it up. I think that's our.
That's our
Anime,
time.
it's great.
Yeah.
Please enjoy our picks and watch our picks from last season.
Oh, I'd like to say though, like I read some of the comments from the last podcast we did. These are our picks. This is stuff we watched and stuff we're looking forward to. If there is stuff that you think is good that didn't show up in this list, it's not because we didn't think it was good. It's because we didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Our tastes are different.
Yeah, I don't like Fate Stay Night at all, but that doesn't mean it's a bad series.
I literally can't watch Fate Stay Night with Beej because he just falls asleep and it's annoying. So I go over to Ian's place to watch it with him.
Yeah.
And I sit in the office and don't watch it.
Yep. We're friends.
Yep. Friends.
All right. This has been our LRRcast anime roundup for the end of winter, beginning of spring 2015. Hopefully we get to do this again in 3 months. That'll be fun. I'm Brendan Beej Deary.
I'm Heather Derry.
I'm Coriander Dickinson.
My name's Ian Horner. And
Finish it.
oh,
Yeah. Take us out.
Finish it.
okay. Well,
Fatality.
if you enjoyed what you see here, you know that you have been supporting us by supporting us on patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Our Patreon, it supports the podcast, it supports the streaming, it supports all the skits and all the Commodore Hustle stuff that you do and you love it, so keep giving, please. You can find us and all of our other things at loadingreadyrun.com or LRR.cc if you're into short things like Beej. Yeah. Am I forgetting anything?
Ian has a stream and I have a stream, and
Hey,
a lot of
I've got one, too.
And Heather has a stream. That's right.
Corey shows up sometimes.
And Cori shows up sometimes.
I visit people.
Yes.
And that's
I
been
wish
LRRcast.
you could
Yep.
visit me.
Thanks
We'll
very
see
much
you next
for
time.
I can.
wave.
Bye. Stop waving now?
Sure, why not?